I'm Ryan Besson from the Pop Culturist, and today's video is our review of the HyperX Cloud Stingers, very lovingly provided to us by HyperX Australia. So HyperX have the Cloud. So the Cloud Stinger is their budget headset, seeing it coming in about $69 Australian. As you can see, it is a lovely black design, beautifully modeled here by Josh Saunders. As he turns to the left, you'll see. You're right.
These go super loud. Holy shit.
As you can hear, he's playing the lovely Pop Culturist theme. And copyright strike, there it is. So as you can see, it is a lovely black plastic finish. Now, as being a budget headset, it is predominantly made of plastic. However, it does have a lovely steel sort of headband, I guess is what it's called. Now, in terms of how the headset works, in terms of its ohms and its bass
The benefit of it is, sorry to jump in, is that you don't need your phone to talk because it has a microphone.
It does. It's really handy.
Yeah.
So he's having a great time over there. So like, in terms of like how the speakers work, I'm not too sure of like ohms and impedance and all those other headset-y words. For me, it ticks a couple of big boxes. It's nice, big, the 50mm drivers. These are the big ones that I love the most. The ones that wrap. You gonna pause that for me just so we don't get in the mics. So it's got the nice 50mm drivers, the big wrap around your ear ones. I hate those little dainty ones that sit on your ear. Not a big fan.
You want me to jump in now?
Yeah, I want to jump in. I want to know what you think.
It's super comfy.
Oh, man.
Even over my beanie.
So using what HyperX referred to as their signature foam, it's like, yeah, sort of their unique blend, I guess. I don't know, like it's a...
Sales pitch. Because I'm actually in the market for a new headset right now.
Okay, so this is HyperX Cloud Stinger, as I mentioned. This is their budget headset at $69. I mentioned this at the start of the video, but you were blissfully
only $69.
Only $69, and you're off in your own little world there. So it has 90-degree little swivelly thingies. It's 50mm drivers, big fuck off headphones. It's fantastic. The microphone is actually really good as well. So
I've jumped in on a few streams that you were using that for, and it is super good. Yeah,
so we've had this for about 2 weeks now, and I wanted to sort of get as much as we possibly could out of it, sort of just to get that real test. So during our E3 live streams, this is the headset that I use. This is what I heard all the conferences with, and this is where all my thoughts were recorded in this lovely thing.
That takes a lot of faith because E3 is a one-time-a-year deal.
And
you want to make sure you're listening and hearing on good time.
Yeah, and with the live streams, right, we want to make sure we're doing good because that's what we want to get a lot of traffic over E3. So I took a big risk using these over that to sort of make sure we get the right the right presentation.
Yeah.
And goddamn, I'm happy with them, man.
Yeah.
Like they're great. Like I'm not they're sturdy-ish. I'm not a big fan of the scary twists because there's another YouTuber out there who I've seen who just like people send him headsets and he's like, all right, whatever, and then just twist it. I could
see how far they can go.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna test them.
What situation would you twist it anyway in that manner?
Gets caught in your bag, I guess. See what I do love.
Sorry, my issue with headphones is I'll have them in the computer tower.
Yeah.
And I'll get up to walk away and just take the whole thing with me. But I don't think they'd bend that way.
No, I don't think they bend that way.
I might break my face.
But for me, one of the big things about them though is these do go quite large. I have quite a large head, and look at that. You do. Plenty of room.
A huge head.
Plenty of room. Big fan. A couple other things as well. It works with almost everything.
Almost everything.
I say almost everything because I'm not entirely positive, but
so PS4.
It works straight into your controller with the PS4. Same with the Xbox One. If you have the One S, your controller will have that plug as well. As you can see, works with your phone. Will work with your Nintendo Switch. Will work with your maybe not your PS3. No, any of the current gen consoles plus phones plus Switch, it's anything with a headphone jack, it's gonna work in.
Awesome.
But what do you think in terms of the sound, like as in where it's sat in the sound spectrum? While you do that, I'm gonna jump into some tunes as well. As
you saw, I turned it up as loud as at least as loud as my phone would go. And normally with $70-$80 headsets, when you go to max volume, it gets a little bit
it's tinny, it's kind of crappy, yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like you know how you're approaching blowing the speakers when it gets that fuzz behind it?
Yeah.
Crystal clear, man. Crystal clear.
Now, because you're a musician of way back.
Yeah.
Are you a musician enough to understand like the mids and the highs and the lows? And
you need to, our mixing board has mid, high, and low on it as well.
And I had you come in there and ready that up for us.
So it doesn't deliver much in terms of like a deep bass, but it's crisp. And that's what's important, is having crisp, clear sound. Unless you like dubstep, I guess. But even then, you get to hear every like electronic noise. It's like, come back to us.
What?
Come back to us.
And that's the one other credit is as well. Like when you got this on, you don't hear shit.
That's good.
Well, it is for me, crying babies.
Like you got like a 6-month-old baby.
Yeah,
and
he
should.
I should, but that's why Millie's involved. You know.
Yeah.
Like when I'm having my me time, I've got the headphones on. I'm playing the games.
Oh, living the perfect life with a baby and a wife.
Yeah. I've got all the sweet dreams. Oh, and like what I love about this as well, with my sweet fat neck. Normally when I do this, it's like. So being able to turn them to 90 and have them rest is really quite nice. I'm a big fan of that.
I haven't experienced that, but I could see why it would be a bother.
Now, the headphones that I normally use, so now granted, these aren't quite as musically, like in terms of the range, as punchy as like there's a pair of Sennheisers that I use for my general audio consumption.
Actually, I've got a good song to try while you keep talking.
Yeah, so like they're not quite that good because those Sennheisers were a bit of dosh. Where I do find them a lot more comfortable and a lot more resilient than the Sony Pulses that I use. Now, they've got a metal frame as well, but they're plastic right at the hinge here, and they are just cracking and breaking. And I've had them for a couple of years, but they're just not doing what I need. And I think this is like great for what they are. For like when you think $70 for a headset, you're like, nah, man, that's right. I'll just go to the next one. But like we're in the same market as Astros, where you're paying $300, $400, $500. Are you playing Cotton Eye Joe?
Yes.
I played Return of the Mac, so I...
Just waiting for it to kick in.
Now, the one thing I am noticing, though, you've got that full, right? Is that full?
Yeah.
There is a bit of bleed. Like, quite a lot of bleed.
Hey?
There's a lot of bleed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Only when it's jacked as full by the looks.
Yeah, well, I've got the HTC M10, and I think part of its design is to have, like, really good music sound.
Like unnecessarily loud sort of thing.
And it goes stupidly loud as well. But I think in a normal... Like, you'd never listen to music as loud as I just was.
No.
So I think in a normal circumstance, you wouldn't really have
did
much
you
bleed
hear the music I was playing before?
No.
See that, and to me, that's like that was any louder, and that would have really hurt my head.
Yeah.
So like I was like, it's like
that was just hurting my head because it was Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
But I thought it's got a lot of ranges and stuff in that song.
Yeah, and look, as one of the things, we'll get into some overall thoughts as we ramble on for a little bit. I think the headset is fantastic for the price point that it is, for the construction of it's quite sturdy constructed for majority plastic. It's got that nice steady steel through the top, or
it's got a good amount of weight to it.
Yeah, like it's 275 grams or something, so it's nothing. Yeah. Like compare that to the Sony Pulses that I use. Those things are fucking heavy. I mean, they hurt my neck.
It's light, but it feels like it's sturdy,
and it's not tight on my head. Once again, the other problem's having a huge ass head is it kind of can like really kind of push in. Like there's a pair of Turtle Beaches that I've had on my PC for a while, and like max distance, they're just not quite long enough. They just smoosh the side of my face in. But these are fantastic. Would you consider picking the pair up?
I would. I might actually look at, because I'm willing to spend up to $150 on a new headset. So I love HyperX. Now I do.
Well, we've never used HyperX before, and we've never really reviewed headsets before, if you haven't noticed. Yeah. So for us, it's a brand new step.
Yeah, so I like what I see here, but I might be looking at what else they've got.
You're looking at what the next tier is.
Yeah, probably the next 2 tiers up.
Well, because the big thing is with these are stereo as well. I'm a big fan of that 7.1, even if it's like the virtual 7.1. Big fan of that. But look, as I played it with a handful of games, I played it with Tekken 7. The sound, like nice bit of punch. Like it's not super bassy as you mentioned, which is what I like.
Yeah,
super bassy, got no time for that.
Yeah,
and like a nice bit of punch behind it. And then I've also played it with Wipeout, which has that really sort of heavy dance electronic soundtrack. Perfect. It's exactly it's probably the closest to the levels that I like without actually fiddling with an equalizer.
That's good. All right, well, if you want to do the wrap-up, I'm going to listen to some beats.
These are the HyperX Cloud Stingers. As I mentioned, they are $69. They are available at all good gaming retailers. Thanks again to HyperX Australia for sending a copy of this. I really, really enjoy it. It was glad. It's a nice budget headset for those of you playing at home. And what song are you going out with, Josh?
Crystallized by my girl, Lindsay Sterling.
All right, I'm gonna end this up here. I'm Ryan Betson. You say your name?
I'm Josh Saunders.
Now I'm just gonna zoom in on you as you enjoy that for a little bit. There you go.
bliss. It's like I'm closer to her than I ever have been.